For over 400 million years, sharks have ruled the oceans, surviving every upheaval on Earth. They are the ultimate hunting machines, boasting incredible speed, immense bite force, and senses far superior to any other vertebrate. From tropical waters to icy seas, sharks are everywhere, playing a crucial role in the marine ecosystem. Join us as we dive into the mysterious world of these ancient predators and uncover what makes them the true icons of oceanic power. Green agriculture technology, the fierce encounter with sharks in the deep ocean. Sharks appear across all oceans, from coastal waters to the deep sea, playing a crucial role in marine ecosystems. With the increasing demand in the seafood industry, sharks remain a key focus in fisheries. However, how can we balance market demand with sustainable marine resource management? Shark fishing has been practiced since ancient times and is now strictly regulated to ensure sustainability. From traditional fishing methods, humans have adopted modern technologies while complying with quotas, minimum size limits, and designated fishing areas. Many countries have also imposed bans on fishing certain endangered shark species while strictly controlling the use of shark fins, skin, liver, and cartilage in industries to prevent overexploitation. Commercial shark fishing requires thorough preparation, from vessels to specialized equipment. Fishermen use a variety of boats, from small vessels measuring 20 to 60 feet for short near-shore trips, to large boats over 100 feet equipped with spacious storage compartments, freezing systems, and powerful winches for long-distance offshore fishing. These vessels are often equipped with rod holders, winch systems for hauling sharks, and on modern boats, sonar and navigation technology to pinpoint shark-rich areas. The primary fishing method is rod and reel, a popular technique due to its flexibility and better control when reeling in sharks. The fishing rods must be ultra-durable, made from carbon fiber or composite, paired with fishing lines capable of handling between 220 to 660 pounds. Fishermen rely on sonar, seasonal migration patterns, or signs of shark hunting activity to determine where to drop their lines. Some small boats operate near shore, where sharks hunt around coral reefs, river mouths, or deep coastal waters. Meanwhile, larger vessels venture offshore to target migratory shark species such as great whites and mako sharks. Bait selection is a crucial factor in successful shark fishing. Fishermen commonly use mackerel, small tuna, eel, or other strong-smelling marine creatures to attract sharks. Some even use underwater sound devices to stimulate sharks' attention. The bait is securely hooked and dropped into deep waters where sharks are active. When a shark takes the bait, a true test of strength begins. Sharks thrash violently, attempting to break free, forcing fishermen to use skillful techniques to maintain control and gradually reel the shark closer to the boat. This is even more challenging on small boats, as a struggling shark can capsize the vessel or snap the line if handled incorrectly. Once the shark is near the boat, fishermen quickly use gaff hooks or ropes to secure its tail, preventing violent thrashing that could cause injury before hauling it on board. After securing the shark, fishermen work together to lift it onto the boat, either manually or using winches. For larger sharks, multiple people are needed to ensure a safe and efficient boarding process. Immediate handling reduces the risk of accidents, as sharks may still struggle even after being brought onto the deck. After capture, sharks are processed immediately to maintain meat quality. On large vessels with extended fishing trips, fishermen often remove the fins on board due to their high market value and gut the sharks to prevent spoilage. Since sharks contain high levels of urea, which breaks down into ammonia after death and creates a strong odor, they must be thoroughly rinsed with seawater and frozen immediately. For medium-sized and smaller boats operating near shore, whole sharks are stored in ice-filled compartments to preserve freshness until they are brought ashore. The rampant exploitation of sharks for commercial demand, particularly for shark fin soup, has become a serious threat to marine ecosystems. Despite bans and restrictive regulations in many countries, some fishing vessels deliberately violate the law, harvesting shark fins in massive quantities to sell on the black market. The lack of control in this industry not only devastates shark populations, but also disrupts ocean ecosystems, directly affecting the food chain and the survival of many other marine species. However, alongside illegal harvesting, many shark processing facilities strictly adhere to conservation regulations. They only source sharks from legal suppliers, where catches are regulated by quotas and sustainability standards. Some countries have implemented strict monitoring measures, requiring fishing vessels to carry tracking devices and certify the origin of their shark catches to ensure no illegal hunting occurs. Additionally, an increasing number of organizations and businesses are turning to sustainable alternatives, such as researching plant-based ingredients to mimic the flavor of shark fin, helping to reduce pressure on these animals. The processing of frozen shark meat follows strict regulations to ensure quality and traceability. As soon as the fishing boats dock, the sharks are transported to processing plants, where they are sorted by size for efficient handling. For legally harvested sharks, processing facilities maximize resource utilization to minimize waste. Finally, the products are packaged, labeled, and distributed to the market, ensuring compliance with food safety and sustainable fishing standards. Hopefully, this video has given you a deeper understanding of the commercial shark fishing industry and the perspectives surrounding it. If you found the content useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring fascinating stories about the ocean world. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Even though tilapia and sea snakes inhabit completely different environments, one thriving in familiar freshwater ponds, the other hiding in the depths of the ocean, the journey of how humans harvest them reveals an unexpectedly fascinating intersection. Sea snakes, unique creatures of the saltwater realm, have captured human attention, not only for the mystery surrounding their way of life, but also for the potent venom they possess. Sea snakes are a group of snake species that live in saltwater environments. They belong to the Elapidae family and are mainly distributed in tropical and subtropical seas of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. These snakes are notable for their ability to survive underwater, with bodies measuring about 47 to 59 inches in length. Their paddle-shaped tails allow them to swim swiftly beneath the surface. One of the most remarkable traits of sea snakes is their extremely potent venom, which is around 10 times stronger than that of a rattlesnake. Powerful enough to pose a threat to humans, however, they rarely attack unless provoked, and typically don't pose a danger unless humans intrude into their territory. Sea snakes primarily feed on fish and other marine creatures. They use their excellent swimming skills to hunt and are commonly found in coastal areas, particularly among coral reefs and shallow waters. During fishing trips, fishermen are often startled when they pull up their nets and discover a strange creature writhing among the catch. Its undulating body, smooth shiny skin, and striking stripes reveal it to be a sea snake. At first, there may be a moment of alarm, but with keen eyes and seasoned experience, the fisherman quickly identifies it as a highly venomous snake, typically found on the ocean floor where it hunts for prey. Although not the intended catch of the trip, the sea snake is carefully kept. To fishermen, this is a prized creature. Its meat, skin, and even bile are considered highly valuable in both cuisine and traditional medicine. Encountering a sea snake at sea is rare, but each such encounter is seen as a special gift from the ocean. After being captured, these sea snakes are purchased by traders and transported to various consumer markets. All parts of the snake, including the skin, meat, blood, and bile, are highly valued in both culinary and medicinal practices. Notably, sea snakes are often infused in alcohol and used as a traditional remedy, as many people believe that this type of liquor can nourish the body, enhance vitality, and naturally improve overall health.
Okay, dudes.
Sea snakes are prepared into a variety of dishes, ranging from simple recipes like minced fresh snake with betel leaves to elaborate stews with vegetables, pork bones, and spices, resulting in flavorful and highly nutritious meals. The nighttime sea snake hunts, the ocean-flavored dishes, and the belief in their healing powers all come together to form a story that is both familiar and mysterious, centered around this fascinating creature. Thank you for joining us on this journey to discover the world of sea snakes. If you found the video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay with us on more exciting adventures to come. Each year, over 92 million tons of seafood are harvested from the ocean, providing food for billions of people across the globe. Behind this staggering number lies a massive fleet of more than 4.1 million fishing vessels operating from the icy waters of the North Atlantic to the turbulent tropical seas. From small coastal boats to massive ships over 300 feet long, equipped with cutting-edge technology, the global fishing fleet is not only a symbol of power, but also the heart of a relentless quest to conquer the ocean. But how do these machines manage to haul in hundreds of thousands of tons of fish every single day? Join us as we dive into the harsh yet awe-inspiring world of modern fishing. Green agriculture technology, exploring the million-ton fishing fleet across the ocean. Today, when it comes to the seafood industry and the vast resources of the ocean, we cannot overlook the modern fishing fleets of the world's leading nations. Before launching, the vessel undergoes a comprehensive inspection to ensure safety and performance. The main and auxiliary engines are serviced and test run under various load conditions. Navigation equipment such as radar, GPS, and electronic compasses are precisely calibrated. Fishing machinery, including winches, reels, and net systems, are lubricated and checked for proper operation. The refrigeration system is inspected for cooling efficiency, leakage prevention, and stable temperature maintenance. The hull is examined for weld integrity, repainted, and any rust spots are treated if necessary. Storage compartments, fuel tanks, and living quarters are cleaned, ventilated, and checked for airtightness. Fishing gear such as nets, buoys, and anchors are sorted and arranged in accordance with regulations. The entire process adheres to technical standards and is overseen by an inspection team. Only when all requirements are met is the vessel officially launched to ensure a safe and efficient voyage. These vessels not only ensure a stable domestic supply, but also attract attention for their scientific operations and sustainable marine resource harvesting. Aboard giant fishing vessels stretching up to 300 feet long, the size of a football field, the fishing process is no longer a manual task, but is orchestrated like a large-scale military campaign. Each crew member plays a vital role, working in seamless coordination at every stage. These ships are often described as floating factories in the middle of the ocean, equipped with modern machinery, advanced maritime technology, and the ability to operate continuously like a massive, self-sufficient machine. Each fishing expedition begins with data analysis, a crucial step that determines the success of the entire journey. Experts on board extract data from satellites, ocean current maps, sea surface temperatures, depth readings, and marine biomass density. This information is gathered from maritime radar systems, sonar fish finders, acoustic sensors, and underwater monitoring devices, allowing the crew to pinpoint the exact location, movement range, and concentration of large fish schools like herring, mackerel, or tuna. This stage demands seasoned experience and a refined interplay between human expertise and technology to read the ocean. Once the ideal fishing ground is located, the captain devises a strategic approach, calculating the vessel's direction to discreetly and effectively encircle the fish school. The goal is to steer the fish into an enclosed area where the industrial-scale net system will be deployed. This entire process is carried out with extreme precision, with every move carefully synchronized to avoid startling or scattering the fish. The most commonly used net on large fishing vessels is the trawl net, a system structured like a giant tube stretching hundreds of meters, with a wide opening to gather fish and a narrowing end to retain them. The front wings of the net act like mobile barriers, expanding the collection area and creating water pressure that channels fish toward the center. The deep and elongated body of the net prevents the fish from escaping during the tow, while the final bag section gathers the school into a dense mass. To ensure effective operation and net stability, the upper edge of the net is lined with spherical floats, typically made of high-strength composite materials or hard plastic, to keep the net buoyant. The bottom edge of the net is weighted with lead chains or strips to maintain the desired depth. The net's side wings can be spread apart using an opening system, keeping the mouth fully open even as the ship moves at a steady speed. The net is towed slowly to guide the fish inside without shocking or dispersing them. Real-time sensor data monitors the density and weight of the catch within the net. When optimal indicators are reached, signaling the net is full, the captain orders the crew to stop towing and begin retrieval. Hauling the net requires mechanical power and pinpoint precision. A high-capacity hydraulic winch system is activated to pull the net from the end toward the ship's body, layer by layer onto the deck. When the final net bag, holding the entire catch, is lifted, a specialized crane hoists it from the water. The sight of fish thrashing and splashing as they spill out in a thunder of machinery is a spectacular moment. Well earned after days of braving the open sea. Depending on weather, fish density, and catch targets, a trip may last between 7 and 21 days. During this time, the vessel may perform multiple hauls, spaced out over hours or days, depending on onboard processing capacity and the crew's next planned route. On average, the vessel covers hundreds of nautical miles, often entering international waters to reach optimal catch volumes before heading back to port. Each journey is not only a physical and technical challenge, but also a fusion of modern technology and decades of experience from seasoned fishermen. It is the synergy of precision machinery, real-time data, and the instinct of those who've spent their lives at sea, forming a fishing campaign that is as demanding as it is triumphant. Seafood processing no longer takes place solely in onshore factories. In recent years, many industrial fishing vessels have been designed as floating factories, capable of preliminary processing at sea, just minutes after the catch. On large fishing vessels, everything is integrated to optimize productivity and maintain seafood freshness. Once the nets are hauled in and the seafood is brought on deck, it is immediately transferred to a seawater filtration washing system, then on to preliminary processing conveyors. Depending on the type of seafood, the steps may include sorting, gutting, shelling, filleting, or cutting into portions. Most of these stages are performed using semi-automated machines to ensure speed, accuracy, and hygiene. Immediately afterward, the products are moved into deep freezing systems, usually operating at -40 degrees Fahrenheit, which halts decomposition and preserves nutrients without the need for preservatives. Some modern vessels are also equipped with vacuum packaging chambers, refrigerated storage compartments, and electronic traceability systems. Thanks to this, once the vessel reaches port, the products are ready to go directly to supermarkets, cold storage, or export without requiring further processing. However, many vessels lack onboard processing systems. After catching, seafood must be preserved on ice and transported back to shore within 1 to 2 days for delivery to onshore processing plants. At these factories, seafood undergoes a closed-loop processing chain, from washing, sorting, and preliminary processing to freezing, packaging, storage, and transportation. Factory lines are typically highly automated, featuring bone separators, automatic cutters, packaging conveyors, and strict temperature control systems. Beyond traditional freezing, many plants also use IQF individual quick freezing technology to preserve the natural texture, color, and flavor. From the catch at sea, to onboard processing, to factory handling, every stage is strictly monitored under international food safety standards. As a result, every piece of fish, shrimp, or squid delivered to consumers is not only fresh, but also meets the highest quality, ready to serve demanding markets like Japan, the EU, or the United States. China is home to the world's largest salamander species, an ancient creature that has remained virtually unchanged for millions of years. With its high value in traditional medicine and gourmet cuisine, this salamander has drawn significant attention. To meet the growing demand, farmers have developed specialized breeding techniques to raise these salamanders on large-scale farms. However, these amphibians have unique requirements, making their cultivation both a challenge and a fascinating endeavor. Green agriculture technology, unveiling the mysteries of the giant salamander. Did you know that the Chinese giant salamander can live up to 100 years and grow over 5 feet in length? However, there are many lesser-known fascinating facts about this species. One of the most interesting aspects of the Chinese giant salamander is its ability to communicate through sound. Although it is a silent predator, it can produce barking, whining, and even crying-like sounds. Interestingly, the Chinese giant salamander is almost completely blind. However, it has an exceptional sense of smell and touch, which helps it navigate and find food without relying on vision. This unique adaptation allows it to survive in its natural environment. To effectively farm Chinese giant salamanders, it is necessary to create a cold, clean water environment that mimics their natural habitat in underground caves and freshwater streams. Farmers must establish a water circulation, oxygenation, and temperature control system to ensure the salamanders grow healthily. Water quality management is the most critical factor in salamander farming. If the water is not clean, the salamanders can become stressed and refuse to eat. Farming tanks are designed with smooth, sloped bottoms to prevent injury. The tanks are also divided into sections based on the age and size of the salamanders. During the breeding season, farmers carefully regulate temperature and water conditions to stimulate the mating process. After mating for about 2 to 3 days, the female salamander lays eggs in crevices or safe natural shelters. At this stage, farmers collect the eggs after they are laid and incubate them in specialized tanks to ensure a high survival rate. After about 30 to 40 days, when the larvae hatch, they go through the first few weeks under continuous care from farmers to ensure healthy development. Once they grow large enough, the larvae are transferred to larger enclosures to continue maturing until adulthood. What do these creatures eat? Unlike traditional livestock, salamanders are carnivorous, so their diet must be protein-rich. Farmers feed them small fish, worms, and specialized feed pellets to support their growth. It is crucial to monitor the amount of food each salamander consumes. Any leftover food is removed to maintain cleanliness, prevent water contamination, and avoid diseases. The Chinese giant salamander can grow up to 6 feet in length and weigh over 66 pounds when raised in an optimal environment. With controlled conditions and a proper diet, they can grow rapidly and reach impressive sizes, much larger than their wild counterparts. After reaching the standard size, salamanders will be harvested under a strict control process and distributed to licensed entities, including research facilities, specialized restaurants, and conservation programs. In China, large-scale salamander farming is increasingly developing to meet market demand within the framework of legal regulations. Salamander meat has long been a part of traditional cuisine and is used in certain specialty dishes. Many believe it has high nutritional value and is often prepared for important occasions. Popular salamander dishes include soups and stews, which make the meat tender and easy to enjoy. In some regions, herbs and spices are added to create a distinctive flavor, depending on local customs. Over 2 billion frogs enter the production chain every year, generating nearly 100 million pounds of meat for the global market. From humble village ponds to fully enclosed farm systems, frog farming is quietly creating a multi-million-dollar industry that reaches Europe, the US, and the Middle East. No longer just a small side job, frog farming has become part of modern agriculture, woven into every stage of this seemingly familiar amphibian's growth. This is a story rarely told, yet full of surprises, about the global rise of frog farming. Green agriculture technology, the journey of global frog farming. Behind those tiny frogs is a months-long process of nurturing that requires technical skill, the right environment, and meticulous care from the farmer. From the moment they're just tiny tadpoles to full-grown frogs, they rely on clean water, natural light, and daily attention. Are you curious about this journey? To start a frog farming cycle, the first step is to prepare a proper rearing space. Farmers typically use cement tanks, soil ponds lined with tarpaulin, or plastic containers. Water depth is maintained between 8 to 16 inches, and the tank bottom is slightly sloped for easier drainage and cleaning. Surrounding nets are essential to prevent frogs from jumping out and to keep other animals away. Before introducing the frogs, the tanks are thoroughly cleaned and disinfected with salt water or lime, then filled with clean water and left in the sun for several days to stabilize the environment. In frog farming, selecting breeding stock plays a crucial role from the start. Farmers choose healthy adult frogs with no deformities, quick reflexes, and weighing between 0.7 to 1.1 pounds. Breeding can occur naturally in separate tanks or be induced using artificial hormone stimulation. Fertilized eggs are collected and incubated in clean, aerated tanks, where they hatch into tadpoles after about 1 to 2 days. This is a highly sensitive phase requiring stable temperature and clean water to ensure healthy development. Once fertilized, frog eggs develop rapidly in water. Within 1 to 2 days, the transparent round eggs begin forming a spine, eyes, and eventually a tail. At the right time, the thin membrane surrounding each egg breaks and tiny tadpoles emerge. At birth, they have no legs and move by flicking their soft tails, feeding on the remaining yolk sac in their bodies. This marks their first transformation into independent aquatic beings. When tadpoles grow legs and their tails gradually disappear, they enter the most critical moment of their life cycle, the transformation into juvenile frogs. Their respiratory system shifts from gills to lungs, and their movement shifts from swimming to hopping, signaling the beginning of amphibian life. Under farmed conditions, this phase lasts about a week and requires careful monitoring. The water must be clean, oxygen-rich, and there should be shallow areas for the frogs to begin adapting to the new environment. Once the transformation is complete, the young frogs are still tiny, just about 0.1 ounces, but already resemble miniature adults. This is when they start hunting prey and adapt to moving both in water and on land. Farmers typically transfer the frogs to shallow ponds or tanks with moderate density to prevent injuries and overcrowding. Their main diet includes small pellet feed or finely ground fresh food. With proper care and techniques, the young frogs will grow rapidly in just about a month, ready to enter the commercial farming stage. When frogs reach a weight of 0.1 to 0.15 pounds, they enter the commercial farming stage. At this point, farmers typically select healthy, uniform individuals and transfer them to specialized grow-out tanks. The water level is maintained between 8 to 16 inches, and regular water changes are necessary to maintain cleanliness and stabilize factors like pH, dissolved oxygen, and temperature. After about 10 to 13 weeks of care, frogs can reach a weight of 0.33 to 0.44 pounds each, which meets the standard for harvesting. Before harvesting, farmers stop feeding the frogs 12 to 24 hours in advance to clear their digestive systems and preserve meat quality. Frogs are typically harvested in the early morning or late afternoon to avoid high temperatures that can stress them. Farmers lower the water level in ponds or tanks, then use nets or mesh screens to gather the frogs into one corner. The captured frogs are placed in mesh bags or baskets and dipped in clean water to cool them down and reduce panic. This method helps minimize scratches and ensures the frogs stay healthy for live transport to processing facilities. Once purchased from farms, the frogs are transported to processing plants in refrigerated containers to maintain freshness and ensure food safety. At the facility, the entire process takes place in a clean, enclosed environment that strictly adheres to hygiene standards. Frogs are moved to the preliminary processing area, where they are rinsed with cold water and lightly disinfected using ozone or food-safe solutions. The products are then sorted by size to suit different market requirements. Depending on the consumption purpose, the frogs may be processed whole, cut into pieces, or filleted. These steps are performed using modern machinery combined with manual checks to ensure accuracy. Once processed, the products are sent through a quick freezing system at around -40 degrees Fahrenheit, then vacuum packed and stored at -0.4 degrees Fahrenheit to retain optimal freshness. The entire process is supervised by technical staff and quality control teams to ensure the final products meet export standards for demanding markets such as Europe, Japan, and the United States.